I am here with the fabulous and amazing Tracie Root, and she is one of the co-authors of our group book, The Power of Community. Tracie, I'm so excited that you're here.
Elaine, thank you. I'm super excited too. And anytime I get to have a conversation, especially on camera with you, is a good day.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. I've always loved being in your gather community. Tell us about why did you feel the need to be in this group book?
It's a great question because people do ask me that. And I've been in a couple of multi-author books already, including one with Seema, who's our current compiler, publisher gal. When the conversation first started, I was thinking, do I want to be in another compilation book? Do I want to kind of save my energy for a solo book at some point, which wasn't on any nearby horizon, but it's in my head, sometime in the future. And do I really want to do another compilation book? But what I found, not only am I, heart connected to all of the women in the book and who were on the Bliss cruise with us, which is how we all got together. But when I found out that the title was going to be Power of Community, like how could I say no? I mean, I had to be a part of it because it is my mission to help people realize that community is what makes us succeed. Like that is what we all need. And so many of us will think we have to do everything on our own or it's better on our own. And neither one of those is true.
Yes, absolutely. And I know for years I was sort of muscling my way
Yeah.
through and I was in heavily dominated male industries and it wasn't encouraged. You had to be sort of masculine to like make your way through comedy, steakhouse, training, and it's so great to be able to embrace a more feminine style of leadership.
I think for a lot of us, we grew up in the 80s and the
Right.
90s. Like I graduated from high school mid 80s in a lot of that energy that we grew up with. A lot of us have left that behind and moved into the more feminine part of the world. But at the same time, it's hard to let go of what we think is true, which is we will succeed through our own power. It's not that that's not true. Like we are in charge of our destiny and we get to decide the choices that we make. And it's better if we do it together because we're supported. It's more like you get to relax more, do it with more ease than feeling like you always have to be on the grind.
Yes, and Carolyn, who's in the book too, she said she didn't realize how lonely she had been.
Yeah.
And I think I felt the same way, even though I was like 10 days with these women. That's a lot, but it was such a carefully curated group and it was so beautifully facilitated by Katerina. We all did such great deep
Yeah.
work. I liken it to AA. I remember if I feel connected with my home group and I feel connected with my program, I can go take risks. I can go get rejected.
Yeah.
I fall down and I feel like, okay, I have a place I can kind of go back and nurse my wounds, so to
Yeah.
speak. But if I don't feel connected, I'm way less likely to want to take risks.
Yeah. Or if you risk, then you're not supported to succeed as much. And maybe there's less success too, which is not something that we want either in either category of things, right? You don't want to take the risk and then find out that you're stuck out of luck on your own by yourself. And you
Right.
also don't want to not take the risks that can serve us in our personal growth and our business growth.
Yeah, I love that, Tracie. And can you give us a little peek about your chapter?
Well, my chapter is about collaboration, courage, and midlife dreams. And I use those kind of three categories to form my thoughts about connecting to the people in my community, about taking those risks that we're talking about and realizing that that's how we grow and that's how we get to find fulfillment is by doing things that maybe are a little uncomfortable or a lot uncomfortable and going for it anyway and tripping and falling and not tripping and falling and seeing how it goes. And then the dream part, is something that I've spent a lot of time thinking about. My first husband, I lost him, 14 years ago almost to cancer. And I always say that he was the dreamer and I was the doer at the time. Very different person than I am now. It was that whole go, go, go person back when he and I were together and he was the dreamer. But when he passed and I had two little kids and me, and that was kind of it. Like my family, I had family, but no one was local and we were kind of on our own. And I was working full time in corporate and said to myself, if I'm going to come up with some fulfilling, beautiful life for me and the kids, like I'm the only parent they have, I've got to come up with the dreams and I've got to make them happen. So I had to become both the dreamer and the doer.
Woo.
And it was really important to recognize that and then start to take steps towards imagining what's possible. possible. And that was honestly only the beginning because it's a muscle. You have to learn how to use that dreaming capability of your mind, because if you're not doing it, you often feel like you don't have time, or it's not important, right? We're so worried about the moment to moment and paying the bills and how we're showing up today that it's hard to imagine what things could be like 10 years from now. And
Wow.
that's where the dreams show up, is out there in the future. And then we get to start progressing towards them from where we are.
Wow. I love that. The dreamer, the doer, and then you
I kind of
chose to
absorbed it all.
take it all in.
You know, and
Wow.
part of that is the whole doing things yourself. Like I felt like I was the only one there. And then
Yeah.
finally, part of that is I went on my coaching journey. I learned how to coach. I got a coach, all of these things, and realized that while I was the decision maker in my family, it wasn't a journey I had to take by myself. I kind of had to start it on myself because it was that decision for me and for the kids that I had to make. But once the decision was made, pulling in community, pulling in resources and people and other people who believed in me and believed in what's possible, that's how we really got those dreams to start to flush out.
So great. Oh, I cannot wait to read your chapter. And it's
Good luck,
launch day. So
hopefully.
we're going to share this on March 6th. So find us, follow Tracie Root, follow me, The Power of Community. We're going to be posting it everywhere. And you can, just for today on March 6th, you can get a special Amazon Kindle edition for $1.99. The Power of Community. Feel free to reach out to Elaine Williams, Captivate the Crowd, or Tracie Root, Gather Community. Thank you,
Yay!
Tracie.
Thanks, honey.